One day, on their way home from the hospital, Varsha tells Viraj that she wishes she never got married, never fell in love, or even crossed paths with him. Viraj lost focus, staring at her say those words, so they got into an accident. Mahi has never seen nor heard about her mother. She would do anything to know her despite her father's hesitation. Her father, Viraj, avoids any conversation about it and even goes as far as avoiding the mother figure in stories whenever he reads to her. To get her to stop asking, one day he promised to tell her everything about her mother if she gets good grades. The girl studied day and night and passed, but her father still refused to tell her anything. So Mahi leaves home the next day with her dog Pluto to teach her dad a lesson. While her dad searches for her, Pluto runs off and Mahi is forced to chase after him, though she's not supposed to run or jump because of her condition. She was born with a fatal lung disease. A young lady, Yashna, helps her with Pluto and saves her from an accident. Mahi tells Yashna everything, who promises to make her father talk. Yashna calls Viraj to a cafe to come get Mahi, and her persistence makes Viraj cave in. He finally decides to tell Mahi about her mother. Every time Viraj told Mahi a story, she always had a mental picture, so when she asked how to visualize her mother, Yashna told her to think about her. Viraj told Mahi how he fell in love with her mother Varsha on sight and confessed his feelings to her days later. She, on the other hand, was not a firm believer in love and considered him a stalker as he went on taking pictures of her. He's actually a big-time photographer in the present, so those were his days of little beginning, and Varsha made a very good muse. Eventually, Viraj and Varsha became friends and slowly she fell in love with him. Varsha was from a broken home, so marriage was not an option, but he kept making her see reasons to give them a chance. Months later, Varsha got married to him despite her mother's disapproval. Her mother wanted a rich man for her daughter, not a struggling photographer. For 2 years, Viraj and Varsha enjoyed nothing but bliss in their marriage. Then one day, Viraj told her he was ready to become a father, and that almost broke their marriage, as she was afraid they might split up someday. She does not want their children to face what she has faced coming from a broken home. Viraj assures her it will never happen, so she agrees and gets pregnant. At the time, Viraj's career had just taken off, so he was always traveling. When Varsha was in labor, he was away. By the time he got to the hospital, she had delivered of a baby girl, but she couldn't touch the child as poor Mahi was put in an incubator. The doctors said she might not live. The news broke Varsha and she blamed Viraj, saying she never wanted a child, but he promised her that the child would bring them happiness. For 2 months, the child was incubated and Varsha became a shadow of herself, barely speaking to Viraj. One day, on their way home from the hospital, Varsha tells Viraj that she wishes she never got married, never fell in love, or even crossed paths with him. Viraj lost focus, staring at her say those words, so they got into an accident. Mahi stopped her dad from telling her anymore and didn't want to see Yashna's face as she envisioned her as her mother. Later on, despite walking into her surprise engagement party, Yashna went home and could not shake the story off her mind, trying to hold back her tears. Meanwhile, Viraj put Mahi to bed. He sat on the couch and opened his laptop. Lo and behold, Varsha was indeed Yashna, his wife. He thinks back 6 years ago when Varsha's mother told him to leave Varsha alone since she lost her memory after the accident. She also claimed that before the accident, Varsha told her she wanted a divorce, so she made him promise to stay away, that the child would only bring her sorrows. So Viraj left and never went back for her. He fought his best to ensure that the child lived no matter what. Turns out their meeting earlier that day was not a coincidence. The dog Pluto recognized Varsha as his original owner and ran to her. The next day, Yashna came looking for Mahi. Viraj was ready to do everything in his powers to keep them apart. Yashna set up a date with Mahi, so Viraj takes Mahi to Goa on a business trip with him just to ensure that they don't meet. But his daughter called and informed Yashna of her whereabouts, so Yashna abandoned her wedding plans to go see Mahi in Goa. It was Mahi's birthday, also her dad totally forgot due to his busy schedule. Yashna covered up for for him and planned a beautiful surprise party for Mahi. She kept trying to stay close while Viraj on the other hand was trying to keep them apart. Yashna could not help but feel a connection to them, wishing she was his wife and Mahi's mother. She even dressed up the way Viraj described his wife. Her fiancé on the other hand received word that she had gone to Goa, so he decides to take the wedding to Goa. Yashna was unaware her fiancé was already there when she confessed her love to Viraj. She doesn't understand why she loves him, but she really wants to be a part of his life. Just then, she's pulled away by her brother-in-law to go meet her fiancé. While she greets her guests, her mother saw Mahi trying to get her attention, and as soon as she realized it was her granddaughter, she made sure Yashna did not see her. Viraj packs their luggage to leave Goa the next day, which happens to be Yashna's wedding day. He too has been fighting his feelings as he never stopped loving her, so the best option is to leave. Mahi begs to see Yashna one last time to ask her a question, but her father forbids it and tells her to go to bed. The next day, they couldn't find Mahi in her room. She left with Pluto to go search for Yashna, so Viraj and his friend go in search of her. While Viraj is caught up by the groom's brother and beaten up, thinking he came to disrupt the wedding. Yashna's mother on the other hand stops Mahi and warns her to stay away. Just then, Viraj's friend comes and begs her not to talk to the child in that manner, also to not let her know anything about her mother. But she doesn't care and warns the girl that if she loves Yashna, she should stay away because Yashna will be very hurt if she remembers. The groom stops his brother and tells Viraj to leave if he doesn't want to hurt Yashna again. Turns out he was the doctor who treated Yashna. Meanwhile, Pluto finds Yashna and she follows him to find Mahi. Viraj tells Mahi next time before running away she should also think of him who has always been there for her. Mahi apologizes to her father saying she would not go to mommy again so mommy doesn't get hurt. Viraj's friend tells him that her grandma spilled everything. Just then Yashna comes hoping Viraj came to tell her that he loves her, but he calls her an irresponsible woman who keeps running away from her problems. Her daughter won't even look her in the eye. Mahi tells her she doesn't want her in their lives either, which breaks her heart as she was hoping Mahi loved her as much as she did. Before leaving, Viraj gives a good warning to the grandma to never mess with his daughter or else he'll mess with hers. On their way back, Mahi slips into a coma, so she's rushed to the hospital. The doctor says she needs to go through surgery immediately, but there's no guarantee she'll survive the operation. Also, there are no doctors in that field willing to take on her case. Only the family doctor flew in, but he alone can't perform the surgery. Meanwhile, Yashna called her dad earlier to attend her wedding. She hasn't seen him in years. Little does she know he left after her accident to go be with her daughter, seeing his son-in-law and granddaughter needed all the support they could get. While she walks down the aisle, her father stops her and tells her that Mahi is in the hospital and may not make it. If she really loves them, then she should go and be by their side at that time. Her husband-to-be asks her mother if she ever wanted a divorce or she's the one who wanted to separate them, because he can see she never stopped loving Viraj. Left with no option, he lets her go to them. At the hospital, there's still no hope for Mahi, but Yashna's presence there makes Viraj happy. Yashna's groom asks the doctor why Mahi hasn't been operated yet, and he explains the lack of skilled doctors and the risks involved in the case. Aravind and his groomsmen decide to take the case. Turns out he's a neurosurgeon and his groomsmen are all doctors too, so they all decide to save Mahi's life. Before getting into the theater, Mahi opens her eyes when she hears her mother's voice. While they wait on Mahi, Yashna takes back everything she told her husband on the day of the accident, wishing to be his wife and the mother of his kids, even though she doesn't remember she uttered those same words. Mahi survived and grew up to become a musician just like her mother. The end. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Tune in for more movie moments.